I'm back with Brad Meltzer. Give it up, y'all. So all hour we've been sharing our love of books. I love this show. Even though reading is such a personal experience, when you meet someone who's read the same book as you, there's an instant connection. And like you're part of some secret club and you love the characters and it's amazing. I'm sure many of you, like me, are always on the hunt for your next great read. I recently discovered a way to tap into a whole new world of books, and I did it on accident. Not long ago, I was actually on like a business trip, and I was at a hotel, and all of a sudden I saw this woman. I was about to get onto the elevator, and I saw this woman. She was just like immersed in this book, and I was like, what is she reading? And I was getting on the elevator, and I was like, well, I guess I missed the chance to ask her. And then I like stopped the elevator, ran out, and I was like, I'm sorry. Creepy person alert. But what are you reading? And she was reading Agatha Christie, who obviously I've heard of, obviously we all have, but I'd never read any of her books. And God's honest truth, I probably never would have because I wasn't that into mystery. And it was this Miss Marple series. And I ended up getting Body in the Library, which is one of the things she was like a big set of like 5 different books in it. And that was one of them. And I fell in love with it. And I thought, well, that was a really interesting way to find a new book, you know, if somebody's loving a book. And so today I'm launching a new initiative here at the show. I called my executive producer and I said, I have this idea. And I want to start this thing, and it's called Stranger Reads. Stranger Reads. So the idea is simple. If you meet someone new, or if you see them like at a park or somewhere and they're just really into their book, the idea is if they're that into it, you might like it too. So feel free to ask about their reading list and what they love and why they love it. And also offer up suggestions, like if the conversation goes well. But swapping, titles is a great way to find out, about books you might never come across otherwise. Also, it's a really cool way to connect with people that you maybe wouldn't have had a conversation with before. And I think that's a good thing. I think we all need more connection, more now than ever. So we're kicking things off with 2 people in our audience. You all brought your favorite books, so let's see them again. Everybody has their favorite book. So let's find out what these 2 complete strangers, Haley and Kevin, brought. I'll start with Haley. Why don't you tell us about your book?
Hi, so I'm Haley. I brought An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. She's a Pakistani-American author, and the reason why I love this book so much, it's literally one of my favorite books ever, is it's a young adult fantasy series. This is the first one, and when I read it back in high school, it was like the first time I had seen characters that look like me in a fantasy book, and it's just really special to see myself in a book and to step into other people's shoes and experience things that I have never experienced before, but also just like see myself reflected. And so I think that this is really important for young readers to read because they learn so much about other people. And despite it being a fantasy book, there are real world issues in here. And I just think it's really important for everyone to experience it. So.
I love that. I want to read it. I'm going to read I want a picture of all your books. So Kevin, what did you bring?
Hi, I'm Kevin. I brought Less by Andrew Sean Greer. It's one of my favorite gay books. It's about a gay man who's about to turn 50 and he just feels like he's failed. And he's failed at love, he's failed at relationships. So in order to like run away from himself and his responsibilities, he like goes on this whirlwind trip around the world. But in doing so, he discovers what it means to fall in love, what it means to be yourself, what it means to find happiness. And I think it's so important for people to read because no matter your sexuality or your gender, love and heartbreak is something we all feel. It's universal. And this book means so much to me because as a gay man, I spent a lot of my life hiding who I was. And this book really makes you confront that. And it teaches you that there is no timeline to be yourself. There's no timeline to find happiness or to find love. And you're always right where you need to be, and there's no rush. And this book means the world to me.
I love that. And it's the same thing though, as like, I might not be gay, but I will love that book. I want to read that book. I think a lot of people can relate to it. I think that that's the interesting thing about this is that I maybe would have never picked that up, and I think that that's a really cool thing. Have you ever read her book? Have you ever read that?
I have not.
No. And have you ever read his book?
No, I haven't.
Okay, this is awesome. So are you willing to swap books? It would be really awkward if you say no.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, let's swap books, people. So this moment, though, it's exactly what Stranger Reads is all about. It's you just, seeing someone and you just are like, I wonder what they're reading and they're into. And it just opens your, your world up to something different than maybe it would have happened, that day. All right, well, I want to announce that we'll be launching a Stranger Reads campaign online where viewers who don't know each other can exchange book titles. I'm very excited about it. I'm also very excited to just sneak on there and get a bunch of book ideas for me. But head to our show's Insta story for more info, y'all, and we'll be featuring the swaps on the show in the future, which I can't wait.